Morning.
If you considered for a moment the dialect and common phrases of teenagers at the Steward School and beyond, I can't even. Can we just talk about my bad, clutch, and TBH might thrust themselves into your thoughts with an air of unbridled angst and emotional overload. But, in my humble opinion, the most widely repeated phrase that might be overlooked for being so common is the dreaded, "I'm so tired," said like a zombified wreck as the head is lowered and the eyes roll into the back of it. Exhausted torsos plopped on desks are commonplace, and "I'm so tired" is the small talk of our generation because we all fight off some level of exhaustion every day because we stay up too late studying, doing our homework or reading, or more often watching Netflix and playing on our phones. Since witnessing my first senior speech upon entering this fine institution 2 years ago, I've pondered what my topic would be. After seeing my second round of speeches last year, I thought I knew the method in which I'd begin. I'd saunter confidently and with charisma up to the podium. Stand still for a moment. Firmly grasp the sides, firmly grasp them. Give the audience a penetrating stare and exclaim, "Insanity!" in the loudest voice that I can muster. However, this plan is now void as I'm not going to speak on insanity, but the drug nearly all of your teachers and most of you consume with religious fervor either daily or hourly to combat the pestilence that is tiredness. My friends, colleagues, and others, my topic is, of course, caffeine. Caffeine consumption plays a vital role in my life, although my mother has strongly discouraged its presence. My first and only position of employment has been working as a Starbucks barista, and somehow, my mom expected me to wake up at 5:30 in the morning on summer weekdays and refrain from consuming the unlimited free coffee and tea that I was in some cases required to sample. I'd wake up 20 minutes before my shift started, rush to the store, don my green apron, grab my glass and some ice, and pull 3 shots of straight espresso, chugging it all in a minute prior to working for 4 to 8 hours. Sometimes went back for seconds, or thirds. I worked full shifts all week, feeding my addiction and working quite fast and efficiently. Those who have seen me work the bar understand that I am speedy, but that beverage quality is not sacrificed for quickness. Some days I arrive at work with too little time to spare, cannot drink any coffee, and am subsequently a wreck. I cannot move slowly on bar, for it infuriates me to move slow, but when moving consistently fast, for long periods of time, and running on nothing but the fumes of whatever remains from dinner from the night previous, it's hard to remember to look at the cup and remember that the woman who ordered the iced 3/4 calf venti, 5-shot affogato, 3-pump sugar-free mocha, 2-pump toffee, not soy, no ice, shaken, skinny, salted caramel mocha didn't actually want salt. Caffeinated Ben recognizes the woman's desire for a lack of saltiness, while a decaf Ben, out of pure spite and exhaustion, gives her water for ordering an overly complicated drink. I was sick with a throat cold for quite some time, and this pair of frequent use of my vocal cords in both public and private performances have given me a mild tickle in my throat. But a nice soothingly hot mug of green tea from the Steward School Philanthropic Tea and Hot Beverage Society alleviates this very nicely. I'd like to take a moment to make an announcement to all of those who call themselves members of the society. As High Commissioner of this prestigious group, I, along with Master of the Coin, Dylan Burnett, the Right and Honorable Lord Chancellor Jackson Peters I, 4th Earl of Buckinghamshire Chesterston, His Majesty's First Minister of Tea, Grand Duke of Assam, Darjeeling, and all other royal tea places, and sophomoric royal underling Chaos Reynolds, we've taken your money and given you tea. You're welcome. The history of the Steward School Philanthropic Tea and Hot Beverage Society is a strange one. After Dr. Vanderbilt foolishly opened access to her office and hot water heater, Jackson and I had an idea to form a club. Dylan, a fellow tea connoisseur, joined on as treasurer. We charge $5 per month of membership in the beginning, receiving larger donations from our more dedicated members. You know who you are, and we thank you. Growing in popularity, Chaos joined on as sophomore president, and we created excessively pretentious, and in Jackson's case, completely falsified titles of nobility for ourselves. Over 50 registered members, and hundreds of dollars later, I have found a way to allude to an addiction of mine on a college resume and show that I'm a student leader because of it. William and Mary apparently thought it was interesting. On a slightly more random note, during a shamanic spirit journey I undertook on my 13th birthday, I found that my spirit animal is a squirrel. A bushy-tailed, energetic creature, nutty if you will, who flits about his world shattering and inadvertently planting oak trees. For those of you who know me, you surely agree this description fits me well. I have prepared a visual aid to assist with understanding my squirreliness in relation to my caffeine habits. I've been drinking tea. As you can see, the squirrel with a cup of caffeinated liquid is happy and excited for life. Now this other squirrel, that's the kind of squirrel who does something like, I don't know, inexplicably passing out in the middle of giving an English presentation, which I did. I'm sorry, Michelle, I hadn't had any caffeine that day. From the coffee makers in Miss Simpson's room, the science office, the teacher's lounge, the Bryan lab, and the library, the pounds of tea in Dr. V's office, and the mugs which inhabit the desks and hands of almost all of our teachers, caffeine assists them in teaching us. On the student front, we as a senior class can go through 24 Mountain Dews from 8 o'clock in the morning to the end of third period, and 48 Dr. Peppers in a day. And on the days when we have those things, I'm so tired, is thrown around slightly less often. Regarding this, the Steward School Philanthropic Tea and Hot Beverage Society, Shamanic Spirit Journeys, and squirrels. I guess I've made my speech about both insanity and caffeine. Thank you.